2026 is the year you stop shrinking to make others comfortable, the year you stop carrying weights that were never yours. This is the year you finally decide that your dreams, your peace, your growth, your future, they are not optional. They are a priority. You've spent too long pouring into everyone else while ignoring the fire inside you, but not anymore. This year you rise with intention, you walk with purpose, you speak with clarity, you demand the respect you've earned and the space you deserve. This year you put yourself first, not to be selfish, but to survive, to evolve, to become the version of you that life has been waiting for. 2026 is not a restart, it's your rebirth, and the world is about to meet a stronger, wiser, unstoppable you. Protect your peace like it's a treasure. Peace isn't something you find out in the world, it's something you build inside yourself. And in 2026, protecting your peace must become a non-negotiable priority. Not a suggestion, not a side project, a mission. Because the truth is simple, you can't grow in chaos. You can't rise while drowning in noise. You can't hear your calling when your life is filled with distractions, drama, pressure, and emotional clutter. Your peace is your power source, and when you guard it like treasure, everything else in your life finally has room to transform. Your peace is the quiet strength that allows you to think clearly, choose wisely, and move intentionally. It's the anchor that keeps you steady when life tries to shake you. It's the difference between reacting and responding, between breaking down and rising up, and somewhere along the way you were taught to sacrifice it, you were taught to tolerate situations that drained you, relationships that stressed you, environments that suffocated you. But 2026 is the year you rewrite that pattern. This is the year you stop giving everyone access to your energy simply because they want it. This is the year you stop apologizing for guarding the space that keeps you sane. Protecting your peace means creating boundaries that reflect your worth. Not the watered-down version of your worth you used to settle for, but the real one, the one you've been too afraid to claim. Boundaries aren't walls, they are gates. Gates you control. Gates that decide who enters your world, who stays, who leaves, and who never gets close in the first place. Boundaries remind people that your life is not a free-for-all. Your time is not unlimited. Your spirit is not a punching bag. Your heart is not a donation center. You get to choose who contributes to your growth and who distracts you from it. In 2026, protecting your peace also means being willing to disappoint people who assume your life revolves around their needs. You can't save everyone. You can't fix everyone. You can't pour into people who refuse to pour into themselves. There's a word for giving everything while receiving nothing: draining. And drained people cannot build powerful futures. Your responsibility this year is not to carry grown adults on your shoulders. It's to build the life you were meant to live. The truth is, some people only love you as long as you're useful to them. The moment you set boundaries, they call you selfish. But listen carefully. Caring about your mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being is not selfish. It's survival, it's maturity, it's wisdom. Your peace also depends on the environments you allow yourself to stay in. Some rooms shrink you, some rooms corrupt your energy, some rooms weaken your confidence, and you know it, you feel it. Every time you walk into that space, your spirit drops, your mind tightens, your body reacts, your intuition whispers, you don't belong here anymore. But you stay out of loyalty, history, fear, or habit. In 2026, you must stop ignoring the places that drain your life. Sometimes elevation requires relocation, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. You cannot grow in a soil that kills everything you plant. Protecting your peace also means mastering the art of emotional self-control. Not everything deserves your reaction. Not every comment deserves your attention. Not every provocation deserves your energy. People will try to pull you into arguments that don't matter. They will try to spark conflicts to distract you from your path. They will try to provoke you because chaos makes them feel powerful. But in 2026, you rise above it, you stay calm, you stay centered, you stay focused, because every time you respond to nonsense, you step off your throne to wrestle with the noise. Your peace is too valuable for that. Another part of protecting your peace is learning to say no without guilt. No to drama, no to emotional manipulation, no to responsibilities that aren't yours, no to events that drain you, no to commitments that overwhelm you, no to energies that disturb your spirit. You cannot build a powerful life by saying yes to everything and everyone. A focused life requires selective engagement. The people who get offended when you say no are the same people who were never considering your well-being in the first place. The people meant for your life will respect your boundaries, not punish you for them. Your peace is also connected to your inner dialogue, the conversations you have with yourself when no one is around. You can't build a strong life with a weak voice inside your own mind. This year, you silence the internal critic, the voice of doubt, the fear that whispers, "You're not enough." You replace it with discipline, affirmation, clarity, and confidence. You remind yourself daily, I deserve peace, I deserve alignment, I deserve growth. Your mindset must protect you, not attack you. When your thoughts are calm, your decisions become wiser. When your decisions are wiser, your path becomes clearer. When your path is clearer, your life becomes more powerful. Protecting your peace also means healing from what hurt you. You can't carry the wounds of yesterday into the possibilities of tomorrow. The pain that you refuse to face will always find a way to control you. Healing is not weakness. Healing is strength. Healing is choosing freedom over anger, clarity over confusion, peace over chaos. In 2026, you give yourself permission to let go of what broke you, not because it didn't matter, but because you matter more. Finally, protecting your peace requires understanding this truth. Not everyone can join you on your next level. Some people were only designed for a chapter, not the full story. Some were lessons, not lifetimes. Some were stepping stones, not companions. And that's okay. Growth will always require release. Elevation will always require separation. When you stop forcing people to stay, your peace returns. When you stop begging to be understood, your spirit relaxes. When you stop settling for less, your life expands. Peace is the foundation of power. Peace is the fuel of clarity. Peace is the birthplace of greatness. In 2026, you must treat it like the rare treasure it is. Guard it, cherish it, protect it, because when your peace is stable, your life becomes unstoppable. And the version of you that rises from that peace will be stronger, wiser, more focused, and more unshakable than ever before. Your future deserves discipline, not excuses. Discipline is not about perfection. It's about commitment. It's about deciding that your future matters more than your comfort. And in 2026, if you want to build a life that reflects your true potential, you must replace excuses with discipline. Excuses are comfortable, excuses are familiar, excuses are easy. But excuses are also expensive. They cost you opportunities, confidence, dreams, and time you can never get back. Discipline, on the other hand, is an investment. Every act of discipline deposits strength into your future. Every time you choose the harder path, you choose the higher path. Every time you push through resistance, you push closer to your destiny. The truth is, your future is not built on motivation. Motivation is fragile. It comes and goes depending on how you feel. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. Discipline leads even when your emotions don't. Discipline shows up. Discipline gets it done. Discipline pushes you forward when every part of you wants to stop. If motivation is the spark, discipline is the engine. And 2026 demands that you build that engine strong. This is the year you stop being driven by moods and start being driven by purpose. Discipline is the bridge between dreams and results. Anyone can dream. Anyone can visualize a better life. Anyone can talk about the goals they want to achieve. But discipline separates the talkers from the doers. Discipline is the quiet force behind success. The invisible work, the early mornings, the late nights, the sacrifices no one sees, the battles you fight inside yourself. And in 2026, those invisible battles will shape your visible life. If you want a future that looks different, you must adopt habits that feel different. Part of discipline is creating structure, building routines that serve your growth instead of sabotaging it. Success doesn't happen by accident. Growth doesn't happen randomly. Evolution doesn't happen unexpectedly. They happen because you made a decision, you created a plan, and you followed through even when it wasn't convenient. When you build routines that align with your goals, you eliminate chaos. You eliminate hesitation. You eliminate the impulse to delay. Structure protects you from your lesser self. It keeps you focused when distractions try to pull you off your path. And in a world full of noise, structure is the anchor that keeps you from drifting. To embrace discipline, you must also stop negotiating with yourself. Stop bargaining with your goals. Stop giving yourself exit doors. When you decide to do something, do it. No debate, no compromise, no, I'll do it later. Later is a lie. Later is a trap. Later becomes never. The moment you feel resistance is the moment discipline matters most. Anyone can work when it's easy. Anyone can commit when they feel inspired, but discipline shows up in the struggle, in the days when you're tired, stressed, overwhelmed, or unmotivated. Those are the days that shape you. Those are the days that define your future. Those are the days that separate average from extraordinary. Another key part of discipline is being honest with yourself. You cannot fix what you refuse to acknowledge. You cannot grow from what you pretend isn't there. Excuses give you temporary comfort, but long-term regret. Honesty gives you temporary discomfort, but long-term transformation. In 2026, you must look at your habits, your patterns, your weaknesses, your distractions, and your inconsistencies with clarity. Not to judge yourself, but to improve yourself. Growth begins where excuses end. Self-discipline is not just about actions. It's about mindset. It's about training your mind to prioritize long-term gain over short-term pleasure. It's about understanding that comfort is the enemy of greatness. Comfort keeps you small. Comfort keeps you stuck. Comfort keeps you living a life beneath your potential. But discipline pushes you to step outside that comfort. Discipline forces you to grow. Discipline challenges you. Discipline transforms you. Your mind must become stronger than your impulses, stronger than your fears, and stronger than your old habits. In 2026, discipline also means making sacrifices. You cannot keep everything and still grow. You cannot hold on to every habit, every pattern, every distraction, and still rise to your next level. Growth requires letting go. It may mean sacrificing temporary pleasure for permanent progress. It may mean sacrificing comfort for consistency. It may mean sacrificing certain relationships, environments, or routines that no longer serve your evolution. Sacrifice is not loss, it's preparation. It creates space for what you truly deserve. Discipline also demands accountability. You must be responsible for your own results. No one is coming to rescue you. No one is going to do the work for you. No one is going to hand you the life you want. You must take ownership of your time, your habits, your actions, your goals. Accountability turns wishful thinking into intentional action. It forces you to confront the gap between where you are and where you should be. And once you recognize that gap, discipline is the tool that helps you close it. The greatest challenge you will face in 2026 is not the world around you, it's the battle within you, the battle between your old self and your future self. Your old self wants comfort, shortcuts, excuses, avoidance, and familiarity. Your old self fears change, but your future self is calling for discipline. Your future self is calling for consistency, focus, commitment, and effort. The version of you that will thrive in 2026 cannot emerge if you cling to the old version. Discipline is the transformation process. Discipline is the rebirth. Discipline is the path that leads you from potential to power. A disciplined life is not a restricted life, it's a liberated one. When you master discipline, you gain control over your time, your habits, your emotions, and your direction. You stop living reactively and start living intentionally. You stop drifting and start driving. You stop wishing and start building. The freedom you want is found in the structure you avoid. The success you want is found in the habits you resist. The life you want is hidden inside the discipline you fear. But once you embrace it, everything changes. In 2026, your future is crafted by the choices you make daily, not occasionally, not when you feel like it, daily. Every disciplined action is a brick in the foundation of your destiny. Every excuse weakens that foundation. You must decide which one you want to build with. Are you building your future, or are you delaying it? Are you protecting your potential, or are you wasting it? Are you honoring your goals, or are you sabotaging them? The answer lies in your discipline. Your future deserves a version of you that doesn't quit, a version of you that doesn't fold under pressure, a version of you that doesn't depend on motivation to act, a version of you that shows up consistently, relentlessly, with purpose and determination. In 2026, let your discipline speak louder than your excuses. Let your actions speak louder than your intentions. Let your consistency speak louder than your fears. This is the year you build a future you're proud of, a future born from discipline, not dreams alone. Choose environments that water you, not drain you. Your environment is one of the most influential forces in your life. It shapes your beliefs, your habits, your confidence, your ambition, whether you realize it or not. In 2026, one of the most important decisions you will make is choosing environments that water your growth instead of draining your potential. Because no matter how powerful, talented, or driven you are, the wrong environment can weaken you, and the right environment can transform you. Your surroundings are not just background, they are the soil you're planted in. And you cannot grow in soil that is toxic, dry, or hostile to your purpose. Many people underestimate how much their environment affects them. They think they can rise above anything, stay strong in any situation, maintain focus no matter who they are around. But energy is contagious. Vibes are contagious. Mindsets are contagious. If you spend too much time in environments filled with negativity, laziness, doubt, gossip, drama, and excuses, those energies begin to seep into your spirit. You start adopting behaviors you don't even notice. You stop dreaming as big. You stop believing in yourself as much. Your fire dims slowly, silently, not because you're weak, but because you're human. Your environment matters more than motivation. In 2026, you must place yourself in spaces that challenge you, inspire you, and elevate you. You need environments where people talk about goals, not gossip. Environments where growth is normal, not strange. Environments where discipline is celebrated, not mocked. Environments where your dreams aren't ridiculed, they're encouraged. These are the spaces that water your potential. These are the spaces that remind you who you are becoming. These are the spaces where your future can breathe. But choosing environments that water you also means having the courage to leave environments that drain you. And leaving is the hard part, because sometimes the spaces that drain us are familiar, comfortable, filled with people we know, habits we've built, and routines we've accepted. You may feel loyal to places that no longer serve your growth. You may feel attached to environments that hold you back, but staying somewhere that drains you is like watering a plant with poison. You get used to the routine, but you slowly kill your potential. In 2026, you must be brave enough to walk away from the rooms that shrink you. The environments that drain you aren't always loud or obvious. Sometimes they're subtle. A workplace where your ideas are ignored. A group of friends who celebrate your failures more than your successes. A family environment that dismisses your dreams as unrealistic. A relationship where your worth is questioned instead of affirmed. These environments don't destroy you overnight. They weaken you day by day, conversation by conversation, moment by moment. You begin to adjust your dreams to fit the limits of the room instead of expanding the room to match your dreams. That's how potential dies, quietly, slowly, under the pressure of the wrong environment. You were not born to live small. You were not born to limit your potential to fit the comfort of others. You were not born to stay in environments that don't respect your growth. Everything in nature grows according to its environment. The same seed, when planted in rich soil with sunlight and water, becomes a strong tree. That same seed, when planted in dry, toxic soil, withers and dies. The seed is the same, but the environment changes everything. In 2026, you must treat yourself like that seed. Put yourself in the soil that nourishes you, not the soil that depletes you. Another part of choosing nourishing environments is learning to listen to your intuition. Your body knows when a place isn't right for you. Your spirit reacts before your mind can explain it. Pay attention to the discomfort that appears when you're around certain people. Pay attention to the way your energy shifts when you enter a space. Pay attention to the pressure you feel to pretend, shrink, or hide parts of yourself to fit in. Your intuition is a guide. It speaks through tension, unease, exhaustion, and frustration. In 2026, trust it. It's telling you where you don't belong. Choosing environments that water you also means creating environments of your own. You don't always have to find the perfect space. Sometimes you build it. You build it through the books you read, the content you watch, the habits you follow, the routines you establish. Your environment is more than a physical location. It's the atmosphere you surround your mind with daily. If you don't have people who inspire you, start reading authors who do. If you don't have mentors near you, listen to voices that challenge you. If your physical environment is chaotic, create mental environments that bring you clarity. Growth begins in the mind before it shows up in your life. You must also be intentional about the people you allow close to you. In 2026, your inner circle must match your future, not your past. You need people who sharpen you, not dull you. People who push you, not hold you back. People who believe in your vision, not mock it. People who bring solutions, not problems. People who speak life, not limitations. If the people around you don't inspire you, challenge you, or support your evolution, they cannot travel with you into your next level. Not because they're bad people, but because their energy isn't aligned with your direction. Healthy environments are built on honesty, accountability, and alignment. Places where you can grow without judgment. Places where your strengths are celebrated and your weaknesses are supported. Places where you're allowed to fail, learn, try again, and improve without ridicule. These environments water your confidence. They build your courage. They expand your horizons. They make you believe again. They make you fight again. They make you rise again. And this year, you must understand that you can outgrow environments. Outgrowing does not mean you're better than others. It means you're becoming better than your old self. It means your goals have evolved. Your standards have changed. Your mindset has elevated. When you outgrow a space, staying in it becomes painful. The conversations become too small. The energy becomes too heavy. The environment becomes too tight. That discomfort is not a punishment. It's a signal that you're ready for more. The most dangerous environments are the ones you've adapted to, the ones where you've learned to survive, not thrive, the ones you've normalized even though they drain you, the ones where you tell yourself it's not that bad while your spirit silently disagrees. Comfort can blind you to the truth. Familiarity can keep you stuck. But 2026 is not the year to stay stuck. This is the year you choose alignment over attachment, growth over comfort, purpose over familiarity. Choosing environments that water you isn't just about where you live, it's about where you think, where you learn, where you spend your time, where you place your energy. Your life becomes a reflection of the environments you tolerate. If you want a life filled with growth, you must stop settling for environments that shrink you. If you want a future filled with purpose, you must stop staying in places that distract you. If you want success, surround yourself with success-minded people, habits, and atmospheres. In 2026, choose environments that make you rise, environments that push you to level up, environments that remind you of who you're capable of becoming. Because when you place yourself in the right soil, you become unstoppable. Your confidence grows, your clarity sharpens, your mindset strengthens, your spirit expands. You begin to evolve into the person you always knew you could be, and everything you touch begins to flourish. Stop waiting for permission to become who you are. There comes a moment in every person's life when they must decide whether they will live according to their own truth or according to the expectations of others. In 2026, that moment arrives for you. This is the year you stop waiting for validation, waiting for approval, waiting for permission to be the version of yourself that you've always felt inside. You've spent too many years dimming your light because someone else couldn't handle your brightness. You've held your voice back because someone told you it was too much. You've weakened your vision because those around you feared your potential. But that time is over. This year, you rise without permission. You grow without approval. You step into your power without hesitation. Waiting for permission is one of the greatest traps of human potential. It keeps you stuck in a life you've outgrown. It keeps you asking for acceptance from people who don't even accept themselves. It keeps you tied to environments that cannot contain the magnitude of your destiny. When you wait for permission, you hand over the authority of your life to people who have no responsibility for your future. And the truth is, most people won't give you permission, not because you don't deserve it, but because granting you permission reminds them of the permission they never gave themselves. You weren't created to live small. You weren't created to play safe. You weren't created to blend into the background of your own story. You were created to lead, to build, to create, to rise, to become. But none of that happens while you're waiting for someone else to approve your journey. The world doesn't reward permission seekers. It rewards action takers. The world doesn't open doors for those who wait. It opens doors for those who knock, push, and walk through even when the path isn't clear. And in 2026, your job is simple. Stop hesitating and start becoming. Part of becoming who you truly are means embracing your authentic self, not the version you curated to be accepted. Too many people spend their lives acting, pretending, adjusting their personality like a character in a script. They hide their dreams because someone once mocked them. They hide their passion because someone didn't understand it. They hide their ambition because someone felt threatened by it. The problem with pretending is that you lose yourself in the process. You forget your gifts. You silence your intuition. You disconnect from your purpose. In 2026, you reclaim your identity. You stop hiding your brilliance to make others comfortable. You show up as your full self, unfiltered, unapologetic, and undeniably powerful. But stepping into your true self requires courage. It requires the courage to disappoint people who expected you to stay small, the courage to walk away from roles you've outgrown, the courage to say, this is who I am, even if not everyone supports it. Becoming yourself is not about rebellion, it's about liberation. It's about freeing yourself from the expectations that have been holding you hostage. It's about choosing authenticity over approval. And that choice isn't easy, but it's necessary. Your greatness cannot bloom in the shadows of someone else's comfort zone. In 2026, you must understand that no one will ever understand your dream the way you do. No one feels it the way you feel it. No one sees it the way you see it. No one was given your vision but you. That means waiting for others to get it is pointless. They can't see what's inside you. They can't hear the calling you hear. They can't feel the purpose pulling you forward. Your dream is your responsibility, not their assignment. If they don't understand, it's okay. If they don't support you, it's okay. If they doubt you, it's okay. Their understanding is not required for your evolution. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. There will always be a reason to delay. There will always be fear, uncertainty, risk, and doubt. But waiting will never eliminate those things. It only allows them to grow stronger. The truth is, clarity comes from action, not hesitation. Confidence comes from doing, not waiting. Growth comes from movement, not planning. You can map out your dream for years and still go nowhere. You can envision your future endlessly and still remain stuck in the same place. 2026 is the year you stop overthinking and start executing. The moment you move, everything changes. Opportunities appear, doors open, people align, the path becomes clearer, but you must take the first step without waiting for permission. Another part of stepping into your true identity is letting go of the fear of judgment. Most people live their lives trapped by fear, not fear of failure, but fear of being judged for trying. They worry about what people will think. They worry about being misunderstood. They worry about being laughed at, criticized, or doubted. But here's the truth. People will judge you no matter what you do. If you play small, they'll judge you. If you rise, they'll judge you. If you stay the same, they'll judge you. So why not be judged for living your truth instead of dying in the cage of their opinions? Judgment cannot hurt you unless you fear it more than you value value your destiny. Opinion cannot stop you unless you give it permission. The people who judge you will not live your life, pay your bills, fight your battles, or experience your regrets. So why live your life according to their expectations? In 2026, you free yourself from the weight of public opinion. You realize that their voices don't build your destiny, your actions do. To become who you are meant to be, you must start trusting yourself again. You've spent too long doubting your instincts, questioning your abilities, and undermining your power. But deep inside, you know you're capable of more. You know you're built for something greater. You know your calling is louder than your excuses. Trusting yourself means honoring your intuition, respecting your potential, and believing in your capacity to overcome what stands in your way. The world becomes easier to navigate when you stop second-guessing your own inner wisdom. This is also the year you stop settling for jobs beneath your talent, settling for relationships beneath your worth, settling for environments beneath your potential. Settling is the silent killer of greatness. It convinces you to accept a smaller life when a greater one is calling you. But you cannot become the best version of yourself while living a life that doesn't reflect your purpose. 2026 demands that you raise your standards. Demand more from yourself and for yourself. Refuse to stay where your soul doesn't belong. When you stop waiting for permission, your life accelerates. You begin to take bold steps. You start becoming more confident, more intentional, more aligned. You start seeing opportunities that fear previously blinded you from. You start attracting people and experiences that match your authentic energy. Everything begins to shift, not because life suddenly becomes easier, but because you finally stop holding yourself back. In 2026, step into your future boldly. Step into your purpose courageously. Step into your identity unapologetically. You are not here to live someone else's script. You are not here to follow someone else's blueprint. You are here to create your own. The most powerful version of you is waiting, and that version emerges the moment you stop waiting for permission. Protect your future with unbreakable discipline. Discipline is not something you practice when life is easy. Discipline is something you live when life becomes difficult. Your future is built in silence, in the hours no one sees, in the decisions no one applauds. If you want 2026 to be the year you rise, the year you rebuild, the year you finally take full control of your life, then discipline cannot be an accessory. It has to be your armor. This is the year you stop letting excuses win. This is the year you stop bowing to your weaknesses. This is the year you stop surrendering to the old version of you. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is self-respect, and if you want a future worth fighting for, you must protect it with everything you've got. Discipline begins with clarity. If you don't know where you're going, you will always be distracted by what is calling your name. Life in 2026 will test you with options, temptations, easy shortcuts, and comfortable detours. But discipline allows you to say no to everything that pulls you away from your purpose. It sharpens your focus, strengthens your choices, and keeps your energy sacred. When you know exactly what you want, the world no longer controls your steps. You do. Discipline draws a straight line between who you are today and who you intend to become tomorrow. Many people fail not because they are incapable, but because they cannot stay consistent long enough to unlock their full potential. Discipline is consistency in motion. It is waking up early even when your bed feels warm. It is practicing your craft even when motivation is nowhere to be found. It is staying committed even when the world gives you 100 reasons to quit. Motivation is a spark. Discipline is the engine. Instead of waiting to feel inspired, discipline teaches you to move anyway, and when you move anyway, you grow anyway. You improve anyway, you win anyway. Your future depends on discipline more than anything else. There will be days in 2026 when you will feel like nothing is working. Days when your effort feels invisible. Days when patience feels painful. These are the moments when most people surrender. But discipline tells you, keep going. Discipline reminds you that storms don't erase seeds. They nourish them. Every painful day is building your endurance. Every silent day is sharpening your resilience. Every slow day is teaching you patience. Discipline transforms frustration into fuel. You must trust the process even when the process feels slow. Protecting your future also means protecting your environment. You cannot be disciplined in a world full of distractions pulling you apart. You cannot stay focused if you're surrounded by people who don't believe in themselves, let alone in you. Discipline requires boundaries, strong ones. There will be people who don't understand why you're waking up earlier, working harder, saying no more often, or distancing yourself from the familiar. They will try to guilt trip you, distract you, or convince you that change is unnecessary. But discipline teaches you that your life is not a democracy. You don't don't owe anyone an explanation for prioritizing your growth. You don't need permission to protect your peace. Your future is your responsibility, not theirs. And discipline also demands sacrifice. Not everyone wants to hear this, but it's the truth. You cannot stay the same and expect a different life. You will have to give something up: comfort, laziness, fear, doubt, the version of you that keeps delaying your progress, the habits that keep draining your energy. Some friendships may fade, some hobbies may disappear, some pleasures may need to wait, but remember, every sacrifice you make today is an investment in who you are becoming tomorrow. Discipline is not loss, it is leverage. It's trading temporary comfort for long-term elevation. To protect your future, you must also protect your mindset. The mind is the command center of discipline. If your thoughts crumble, your actions collapse. You must practice mental strength every day. Speak power into your mornings. Refuse negativity the moment it appears. Challenge every thought that tells you you can't, you're not ready, you're not enough. Discipline requires you to become the guardian of your own mind. When fear whispers, discipline answers with courage. When doubt shows up, discipline responds with action. When excuses appear, discipline pushes them aside. Your mind must work for you, not against you. Another part of discipline is self-honesty. You cannot grow if you keep lying to yourself. You cannot evolve if you keep sugarcoating your mistakes. You must look in the mirror and say, I know where I am failing and I am willing to do better. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. Discipline thrives in truth. When you can admit your weaknesses without fear, you can rebuild your life without limits. Your future requires a version of you that is brave enough to hold yourself accountable. And then comes the most important part: daily action. Discipline is not defined by big achievements. It is defined by small decisions repeated relentlessly: waking up earlier, drinking more water, reading 10 pages, working on your goals even for 30 minutes, avoiding distractions, staying consistent, improving 1% every day. These actions seem small, but they compound, they build momentum, they create transformation, and by the time 2026 ends, you will look back and realize that these small steps built your new life brick by brick. But discipline is not about perfection. You will fall, you will slip, you will have moments where you break your routine or lose your balance. That's normal. Discipline is not the absence of mistakes. It is the refusal to stay down when mistakes happen. When you fall, don't collapse, reset. When you fail, don't quit, adjust. When you slip, don't punish yourself, refocus. Discipline gives you the strength to rise again stronger, wiser, sharper. The goal is not to be flawless. The goal is to be unstoppable. The truth is, your future cannot be protected by hope alone. Hope is beautiful, but it is not a strategy. Dreams are inspiring, but they require discipline to become reality. Your future is built by everything you do when no one is clapping, everything you practice when no one is watching, everything you commit to when no one is holding you accountable. Discipline is the invisible architect of every great life. And if you want 2026 to be the year you elevate, then discipline must become your daily companion. In 2026, protect your future with unbreakable discipline. Wake up with purpose, act with intention, build without fear, push without excuses, stay committed even when it's inconvenient. Because the version of you waiting at the end of this year, the stronger, wiser, more focused you, will thank you for every sacrifice, every decision, every disciplined step you took today. Your future is not something you hope for. It is something you build, and discipline is the power that makes it possible.